So from the beginning, Random Rants has always been a way for me to, well, rant. Talk about things that upset me that allows me to vent in a, I don't want to say constructive way, but at least in a non-destructive way. And since then, based on feedback from my friends, I've also added less negative rants to the mix. This means that occasionally I'll rant about things that I enjoy. And honestly, it's gotten to the point where certain subjects, certain things I rant about, could be spun off into their own series. For example, some of my random rants about D&D, where I literally read from the Dungeon Master's Guide and give my thoughts and opinions on their mechanics, that's one sort of series I could do. In fact, I had a few names brainstormed and everything. One of the titles I was going to give the series was just called Let's Read the DMG. Kinda like Let's Plays, but with a book. My favorite title, however, was Recipe for Adventure, but it never really happened. For an idea of how it could have gone, check out episode 14 of my Random Rants. I kind of consider it my episode 0 for this concept. That said, I really like the name Recipe for Adventure and was thinking of making a D&D campaign as a recorded live stream. Not a Let's Play of D&D campaign, but an actual making of said campaign. I figured if people live stream games, why not live stream the prep work? I mean, we already have DMs talking about advice all the time, why not put it into practice? Make some actual footage of them doing that stuff, putting it into effect. That said, I couldn't think of a proper way to make that entertaining. Personally, I find it difficult to work on something and talk about it at the same time unless I'm getting direct feedback. If you've seen some of my unscripted reviews, you'll see that they're a bit stilted, awkward even, until later on where I record the video separately and then talk about the video afterwards. But maybe that's the answer. The direct feedback bit, that is. Maybe I have one of my friends sit down with me, play off each other while we make a campaign together. And you know what? I like that idea. I think I'll add that to my list of things to do. Now, I don't have a shortage of friends who play in D, or even a shortage of DMs, but I'd have to check if they're okay with having their voices and the like out on the internet. Some of my friends are fairly private people, so I need their permissions, of course. Moving on from the subject of D&D and back onto the subject of future videos, of which the title of this video is going to be mentioning, I also want to do more demo deathmatches. I mean, I've already made one episode, and while I liked the idea, I felt that the execution could be improved. Instead of doing all the demos at the same time in a single video, I think I could give more focus to them by making each round its own individual video, with the finale having a bit more production value to it. I was even thinking about anthropomorphizing. I was thinking of giving the games their own character, as in make them talk, more accurately boast and smack talk the other game, make it more entertaining that way. I can't even pronounce that word right now. More recently, it's been suggested to me that I review LARPs, specifically LARPs as they appear in media. Like that one episode in Hawkeye, or the entirety of that movie with Paul Rudd in it. Let me just look it up. Okay, it's called Role Models. Yeah, I love that movie. So, in my head, I'd review it purely from a LARPer's perspective, but I'm unsure how many actual shows or movies actually show LARPs as a thing, or at least show them enough that they aren't just the throwaway scene. Still, I do one-off videos consistently enough that I think it wouldn't matter too much, so who knows. Keeping with the idea of LARPs, I also wanted to do a food reviews after LARPs. It seems to me that a common tradition among my kind is to visit the closest grease trap and gorge ourselves on the most fattiest foods possible after each LARP sessions. And I kinda wanted to try that as an actual video. Anyways, those are just some of my ideas for future videos. I've got an entire folder full of them. Maybe I'll share more ideas in the future, but if there's anything I mentioned that sounds interesting enough, please let me know, and if enough people ask for it, maybe they'll give me enough motivation to actually make the darn thing. Anyways, bye-bye.